Hello and welcome to Fields of ISIS. This is Supreme Commander Forged Alliance 3599, so a classic game. Some very good players in this one, so Fields of ISIS. Very important choke point here. There's two of these. The middle mountain range. A lot of mass here, about 4,000 for each player, so you gotta run and you get it. There's also a choke point right in front of the two players' base. So on one team we got Tag Rock playing a Cybern, looks like first ground. On this team, he's got Pick playing his UEF. You can see the ACU is going to be very aggressive. He's going to go get that mass. And they are taking on the big one, who's playing a Cybern. Cybern and Cybern battle here on the bottom. And of course, the little one, who used to play a very good game, but now he's got a beard and clicks a lot. So this is where he was really good. You can see he's also going first ground and Aeon, so the only Aeon player in this game. It's going to be a cross from Pick. We see an early Angie here from Rock, hoping not to run into any hunters here from the big one. Actually, the big one going first air, but no bombers yet, only Angies. But he does have the capability. We do see now some hunters coming out for Rock. It's going to be very important early if there were some Angies here from the big one, but looks like the big one is not interested in this choke point. In fact, he is taking his ACU to the top choke point. And it appears that two ACUs from the left side team, the ones, are going to the top. There is a scout here from Tag Rock being very aggressive. Still hasn't seen the ACU. This is the only reason you would send a scout in this direction. You want to see exactly where the big one's ACU, and it hasn't seen it yet. So he has to either, Tag Rock knows either the big one is back at the base or going to the other choke point. It's going to be a very important piece of intel, and there it is. Rock has just seen the big one go into the other choke point, and this should let Pick know he should not go there and face two ACUs. This early, it's basically death. He'll see these hunters. Now this Angie from Tag Rock knows it can go in and get this mass. Absolutely no fear. See, Pick here actually changed the direction. He's going to go to the bottom choke point. Looks like the top choke point is going to be completely given up. There is a single tank here from Pick, but it won't do much. We see multiple land factories from the little one now. And here comes a transport from the big one, and he's got some trouble. He still doesn't have land, and he's got hunters running in. So he really has no capability. You can see the little one sending some flares to help his brother out, but he's got to chase these down. Some great raiding here from Tag Rock. And you can see the big one actually taking his ACU back. So far the big one's ACU hasn't been very efficient, and changes his mind again. He's going to move up with the little one. He's going to share that mass. So the mass for these two teams is going to be split up very evenly. Here come the hunters, and it looks like this is a ghetto. This is a Cybern transport loaded up with flares. That is always great to see, great teamwork, but looks like an NG is going to be taken out. So those hunters were successful. Still one mass extractor not capped for the big one because of those hunters. And now you can see these NGs from Rock for the most part got most of this mass. And Pick now getting a PD in case there's a big land spam going his way, which is definitely not the case. Now we're seeing great interceptor here from Rock, forces the ghetto to disassemble. The flares are back on the ground, 4 flares and a scout. These interceptors, that was a big loss. Transports are expensive. Here is a transport from Pick. This is a very, that's another ghetto, looks like 6 mech marines. Absolutely no respect for any kind of air force. It is getting shot, and it's going to drop off the mech marines. Get off with the transport, still about halfway. Great dogfighting here from Rock. Looks like he's going to dominate air. And we got these 6 mech marines running through the little one's base, and he does not have enough firepower here to really deal with it. Now he's getting Tech 1 PD. These mech marines got to watch out. There's one of them dies, only 5 left. They run away just in time. This PD's got 1 kill. Still trouble here in the little one's base. Looks like the little one's going T2 with air. That's going to be exciting. T2 air from Aeon. Of course, you got Mercies and Swift ones, by far the best T2 air in the game. Looking at Tag Rock at his base, he's got a Tech 2 land. He's going to make hoplites. So any kind of ground battles this early on, he's going to definitely have the advantage. T2 NG getting some T2 power. We are seeing just Tech 1 from Pick so far, a pretty big power spam. Here's another transport, and it's actually going to be shot out of the air. Not the greatest path for that transport, right over some anti-air station under air, and it looks like the bottom is completely abandoned. Still a couple chunks of mass that Pick is neglected to pick up. I guess that's alright. This mech marine, 2 kills, still alive. That's amazing. You see some dead auroras here, multiple dead auroras. You can see those mech marines were really strong there. If auroras get close, they don't have too much health. Here are the hoplites now from Rock. Move it out into the middle, and it looks like some scouting from the big one. But that plane is definitely going to be shot out of there. We see some TMD now. Rock perhaps being paranoid, but whenever you have these two, with their ACUs in the middle, you gotta have TMD. We are seeing T2 gunships now from Aeon, and they are going to be moving out. It looks like they're going to look for radars. There's a radar here from, actually going T2, radar from Rock. Pretty vulnerable. Here comes the gunship. It's going to get its first kill from the radar. We are going to see a dogfight, and it appears that the little one should take control of air, but with some units now coming in from Rock as well. If we see some swift ones, yeah, we do. These are the Tech 2 planes from Aeon. They really dominate Tech 1. And now we see the left team successfully take air. We did see that gunship get taken out, but she's seen more gunships on the way. Actually, T3 air, going T3 air, we're going to remember this is 3599. T3 air not nearly as expensive back in the day. This is just crazy, such an aggressive ACU here from the little one. Should always be careful. One thing to note about this game, so little ground. We do see some from Rock here, these hoplites. Hoplites versus flares. That's actually flares doing a good job against the hoplite. Hoplite gets 1 kill, he's got to keep running, and then actually gets taken out. That was a win for the light assault bots. Great work from the big one. Big one still, now it's T2 air, making T2 NGs and a whole bunch of interceptors. Looks like recycling factories from the little one, and he's really focusing on this T3 air factory. Still a lot of T1 mask extractors. Looks like the little one is not investing heavily into the economy. He is going to try to take air control directly above Pick's base so that he can send some units in. You can see here Pick hiding his air force in Rock space. One thing that Rock does have is T2 land. The T2 flak, absolutely devastating to Tech 1 and Tech 2. These are some adventurous flares. 4 flares moving in for the little one, being very aggressive. And it looks like Rock and Pick have completely given up the map. There are some hoplites putting pressure from Rock, but absolutely no pressure here from Pick. See a shield now for Rock. He's going to be pretty safe, protecting his T2 power. Excellent economy from Rock. And here are the flaks. This is an excellent anti-air unit here from Cybern. Finally some T2 power from the big one. And the little one is making a restore. The restorer here in the 3599, by far the most powerful unit. We're going to get to watch it in action. Maybe we can actually track it here. It's the little one. We claimed about 2,000 mass at this point. This unit is going to get a lot of kills. There's still no T3 air, it appears, from the other side. You can see T2 fighters from the little one. This thing can shoot both air and ground and has a ridiculous amount of health. The only unit it's afraid of is a flak, and even those, it takes many numbers. Already with 2 kills, you can see it can fire anti-air missiles. And in the current patch on FAF, it's definitely not as powerful. There's a gunship on gunship fight. It's a Tech 2 gunship from UEF, from Pig. That's going to get shot out of the air. 8 kills targeting the Hydra, targeting the power of Pig. And now 13 kills on this restore, not even halfway done on its health. Takes out a radar, 14 kills. There's a hoplite. Move it into Rock's base, but this is dangerous. There's a T2 flak here. So the little one has got to really take care of this restorer as he runs away. He's going to kill some unprotected mask extractors. T3 air from Rock. But you can see even in an ASF can't really take this one 1v1. 3,000 health left. 16 kills, 1 veterancy. see shooting missiles at that T3 plane. Hopefully that was a great illustration about how powerful restores were in 3599. And it looks like the little one is still making a whole bunch of restores. 2 more, so he's got 3 total. And this basically means wherever a rock and pig don't have T2 flak, they're extremely vulnerable. It's a whole bunch of Tech 1 anti-air. Actually, all this Tech 1 anti-air would not be able to deal with the restorers that the little one has. We got to note a whole bunch of flak here from rocks. It's the only place you don't want to go if you're the little one. Here's a 4th restorer, the 5th one. Actually, now we are seeing ASF from the little one. He has switched to air fighters. Here come the restorers. A group of 3 is going to kill an Engie. 20 kills for that first restorer now. And absolutely no ground action at all from either side. They're really being very non-aggressive here. Gotta note, this is a SF spam from Rock. He's getting some more build capacity. T2 ground, still hoplites. T3 air from Pick. And some T3 anti-air, still only T2 power. Here's a big plan here from Pick. He's gonna go T3 power, so a lot of teching from Pick, and actually a nice placement of a T2 flak, very important. See 4 kills for that flak already. Good teamwork. The big one looks like he is also going for some tech, and this is crazy. A Tech 1 mass extractor with a bunch of mass. It is not the right sequence to do it. See 3 T2 power from the big one. The little one now getting an upgrade in the middle, getting some assistance, and this is really the main focus of the little one. His T3 air factory now, a bunch of scouts. Looks like he is for the most part T2 mass extractors, but behind in economy from the other 3 players for sure. More T2 power from Rock, some more shields. Rock being very defensive in this one. And here's a team, hoplites and flak moving out. It's a great placement. If you can put flak directly in the middle, that's usually where most air fights are. You can do a lot of damage to the opponent's air force. Here come the restorers. They are taking on flak here and actually doing a good job. Still no losses for the restorers. One of them 21 kills, down to about 2,000 health, and you can see that 4-star got wiped out. We're going to see ASF for Rock actually just fighting against the ASF for the little one. It looks like Rock is going to have the ASF battle. Now he's going to take on some of these restorers. They are going to retreat, and Rock retreats as well. We do see ASF from the big one as well. So it looks like every single player on this map is now spamming ASF with the little one with a few restorers. Now more taking. This is a good air spam from Pick. And it's in an advance with flak from Tag Rock. That's really the only units that are safe, at least relatively safe. Now we are seeing missiles from the big one. It looks like they're going to hit this mass extractor, which is not protected. No tactical missile defense. There is plenty here, but there are some exposed mass extractors. This is the missile launcher here from the big one with 1 kill. T2 radar there as well. This is a great target. This is pretty dangerous. This is late in the game to leave your ACUs without shields, and the big one, the little one, sorry, is getting another AC upgrade, most likely T3. The restorers just came back home. It looks like more restorers are being spammed by the little one. A single strat in this game for him. A major taken here from the big one, getting some T3, as well as strat bombers from the big one. It looks like a whole bunch of T1. These are flak moving out from Pick into the middle of the map. This is really the way you want to play anti-air. Shield plus T2 flak. You don't need too many, but this shield provides a lot of health. The T2 flak really tears any kind of gunships, and now we got something crazy going on. The restorers are sent in by the little one, but they fly over a whole bunch of flak and into a cloud of ASF. This is a very strange move from the little one, and you can see how quickly they died. This is the only place on the map they couldn't be, and that's where they were. I see a pretty massive TMD spam from Rock. No more missiles are going to be coming into this base. So that was a pretty big waste of mass. Each restore is about 2,000 mass. There was at least 5 there from the little one. 10,000 mass. That's half a experimental. And one cool thing, you can even reclaim them. There's plenty of flak here for rock. Nice chunk of mass, about 2,000 mass for each. Actually, I might be mistaken. I think it's 1,300. I guess that doesn't matter. Now we have an ASF battle, and Tag Rock and Pick have just won it. So the left side has just lost air, which will be a big trouble now. Strat Bomber is lost in a cloud of the enemy. He doesn't even leave a wreck. Bad move from the big one. So a few mistakes here from the little one and the big one. Big one now with the T3 ACU. Moving out into the field. Great target for a T2 snipe if Rock wanted to make T2 bombers, actually making T3 here. So winning air. We see transports now from Pick. Perhaps he's thinking about making a ghetto. Yes, he's definitely thinking about making a ghetto. We see a whole bunch of mech marines. This will be a great way to catch out ACU that's just standing out there, but it is standing out next to a T3 anti-air here from Aeon, so that's going to be deadly to any ghetto snap attempts, as well as strat bombers. Really, a pack of about 20 T2 bombers here will be a perfect solution to the problem. Now we see the little one's got a shield in his ACU. Extremely hard to snipe an ACU like this with T3 air, more T3 anti-air from the little one. And back at bases here we see a spider being constructed by the big one, plus some T3 anti-air. We see now bombers from Rock. Not clear what he's starting. It looks like that bomb hit the shield. These NGs would be a great target for this bomber. That was excellent. That was 41 kills with one bomb from Tag Rock. That really got rid of the congestion problems in Big One's base. And now multiple strat bombers from Rock. That was a complete miss, and this bomber is shot out of the air. Nice chunk of mass. So T3 air doing his job. Yet another bomber completely misses. T3 power, this would be a great target, and I think that's what Pick is showing to Tag Rock, but a lot of T3 anti-air. So flying over T3 anti-air is basically suicide for the right side. And really the only big loss here was 41 NGs. Otherwise, not too many losses for the little one and the big one. And they are working on a spider. Looks like nothing is being constructed on the little one's base. And Pick has just moved in with a bunch of NGs, making Tech 1 land factories on the little one's territory. That is pretty crazy. The little one is going to make T2 PD to protect his ACU from this ground invasion, but it's all Tech 1, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Looking at Rock's base, it's beginning to look better and better with a lot of T2 power. Still no T3. And now T3 power from Pick, a lot of build capacity as well. So the right side, a little more turtle gameplay than the left side, and you can really tell their economy, what they have in their base. The little one being very aggressive with the ACU. Forces all this flag back. And here comes a ghetto. Doesn't look like it has any mech marines in it, so it's just an empty T2 transport. And our strat bombers attacking the little one's ACU. He's got a lot of health, but he can't just be bombed indefinitely, so he's got to retreat. It looks like his spider is nearly completed for the big one. And now T3 power plan for the little one. The little one's trying to make another T3 anti-air. No experimentals for the right side team yet, and there might be a little bit of trouble if the spider gets across fast enough. Of course, they don't have air, but little one's ACU getting hit pretty hard here. They lost a lot of health. That shield is nearly diminished. Now with 18 kills on the ACU, found out about these T1 land factories. Actually, some friendly fire here from Rock. The shield is completely diminished for the little one. He's going to get some T2 shields. Very timely T2 shield. And now some broadswords as well. It's a T3 gunship from the EF. A lot of damage per second. Tech 2 point defense. T3 anti-air. This shield's about to be it's about to go off. I can see this Tech 3 anti-air is being targeted by the gunships. And a bunch of T3 transports. This is crazy. Why is Pick sending those units? Yeah, that was a mistake. He's sending them back. Now the little one down to 15,000 health. Getting another T2 shield. Taking on a bunch of T1 PDs. He's going to make some T1 PDs of his own. So far, great work from the little one. One thing to note, he's got multiple T3 anti-air, so those strat bombers as well as gunships died very quickly. And here's the spider from the big one. Made it about halfway, now retreating. Quite a bit of trouble from air. See multiple T3 gunships that actually have some guns on them. It'd be much more epic if they all had mech marines. That'd be the super ghetto. I think it's 36 mech marines per transport. And the spider is retreating hard, and he's retreating to its T3 anti-air, and you can see Pick has got to retreat, otherwise he's going to lose these. Also see some whalers here. Excellent gunships from Cybern. And this is it's a bunch of Tech 1 flak. Looks like it's broadsword spam from Pick. And a spider started by Rock. Really not necessary to get a spider if you're a Rock. Air completely dominating the game from Rock and Pick at this point. Now we are seeing a nuke constructed by the big one. It's about a quarter of the way done with it. Plenty of T3 anti-air, T3 power. You need at least one if you want to have a nuke. Multiple T3 power from the little one. Surprising these haven't been taken out yet, and that looks like finally we are seeing some teching from the little one. He's going to get some of his mass extractors to T3. It's a nice force here from Pick. Whalers. Surprising these dead restorers haven't been reclaimed. It's free mass, would pay for this mass extractor if you're Tag Rock. Spider is at it again. Pushing as far as it can, and now it's going to retreat. The nuke for the little one, or the big one here, is finished. It's got a lot of build capacity on it, and I just got to get a missile. Have not seen any anti-nukes from the right side team yet. And yeah, it looks like Rock is now making an anti-nuke. He's still got to make it, plus put a missile in it. Be a pretty close race. Don't see an anti-nuke from Pick. The spider just continues to tease, but it doesn't look like either Rock or Pick are biting. Little one's making a nuke of his own. So both brothers here are making nukes. They got plenty of power. The only shield here from the little one's really far up. If you took the right path with some bombers, you could really do a lot of damage to the little one's base, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, at least not now. This is really great to see an experimental being controlled by air. Really nothing on the ground, no PDs here, just air. Which means that if Pick and Rock lose air at this point, or some weird situation, we do see the big one making a whole bunch of ASF. So if suddenly the big one is able to win air, this spider can just walk in. It's a very dangerous place to be if you're Rock and Pick. That's why it does look like Rock is putting a little bit of build capacity on the spider. Finally the anti-nuke is completed, but the missile is just being started to be constructed. The nuclear missile takes a lot longer to build, so it looks like Tag Rock will get an anti-nuke in time. One thing to note, there is no anti-nuke for Pick, and you can take a nuke from this base and send it over here, bypassing this anti-nuke, as long as you really fire it far away. Maybe we can look at the range of Rock's anti-nuke. Yeah, you can see this is the orange line. As long as the missile goes outside this orange line, it'll be okay. You can actually hit directly from here to there, directly into Pick's base. Some reclamation from little one. He needs all the mass he can get. And the nuke for the little one here completed at minute 30. the anti-nuke. This is just a nuke from the big one. He's also making a megalith. Has a whole bunch of scouts. It's going to be a nice scouting Air Force and a whole bunch of ASF. It's a great air spam from the big one. Looks like the two teams have divided up the map. Well, you could probably say that Pick could make a push into this corner. Not too much anti-air here, but he's choosing not to. This spider bot might be the reason. We are seeing a whole bunch of Tech 3 transports. At least 4 of them. They should be loaded up with mech marines or something sent across. Now we see scouts from the little one. Scout makes it, but gets killed right away. And an anti-nuke from Pick. This could be very bad for Pick. It doesn't look like he's going to get it in time. And this nuke for the big one is nearly complete. We did see the left side team just scouted Pick, so they gotta know this anti-nuke just got constructed. This is basically bad news for the right side unless they can take out the nuke right now, maybe a strat bomber run or something like that. They gotta take that anti-nuke out, that nuke out right away. And this, well, if these were all gunships instead of transports, that would definitely be a possibility. So not clear why we have all those transports. One great thing to do right now is to put all these engines on those transports and evacuate them so they don't get killed by the nuke. Otherwise all these people right here, all these engines, are gonna die. And the nuke is completed and it is gonna be fired immediately. Now we can see exactly where it's gonna be. It's going right here. And you can see this anti-nuke not done. These engines gotta run. They're running away. They should have been put on those transports. Yep, that's going to be devastating. It's a successful nuke from the big one. You can see the Supreme Commander nukes do a lot of damage. There goes the Pick's base. Still got a whole bunch of transports, but not much else. Now we're going to see air fight above Rock's base, which goes in Rock's favor. Here's where the nuke fell. So Pick's basically got to rebuild now. It becomes a 2v1 game for at least the next 5-10 minutes till Pick can recover. And this nuke has a lot of build capacity on it. This nuke from the little one. They might try to nuke Rock. Of course, Rock, as we know, has at least one anti-nuke, now getting a second anti-nuke missile. Be a pretty good idea for Rock to get yet another anti-nuke somewhere in case this one gets sniped. Now minute 34, pretty even game. Gotta say, early on, Rock and Pick really had the advantage with their turtle strat. Pick making a mistake and not scouting early enough, and did not make that anti-nuke early enough. Now the nuke, and here's an anti-nuke for a little one. Nuke for a little one nearly complete here at minute 35. You are seeing he's making scouts. Still a whole bunch of unprotected T3 power directly in the little one's base. So let's see where this nuke goes. Yeah, they don't make the mistake of waiting. They're gonna fire it right away. There's still a good target right here. As long as they don't fire at Rock, which would be a waste of a nuke. And they don't make the mistake. Well, do they? No, they're gonna hit the rest of Pick's base. That's even more devastating. It looks like Pick is desperate trying to get an anti-nuke going here, but it is not successful. And there goes the rest of Pick's base. Pick just ate 2 nukes in the last 2 minutes, and all he's got is an anti-nuke. So that's a good start for a recovery. Looks like the megalith is the next plan for the big one. He's been working on that forever. It's nice to start it just so the other team thinks you're gonna make it, and just have it sit there with 1 health. But now it looks like he's gonna build it. Both brothers working on it. The little one shifting a lot of build capacity to his air factory. Still just making scouts. Rock making a lot of T3 power. He's got a lot of strat bombers as well. Still working on that spider. Had a lot of flak here. from Rock. So any air fights above Rock's base are definitely going to go in his favor. You gotta note this spider already with 21 kills, recovering a lot of its health. All those kills must have been air. And there's the Angies from Pick. Gonna work on those mask extractors. Gotta start with T1. See some T2 transports from Big One if he wants to drop something. Second spider and the first mega. This is quite a few ASF here from the Big One. If he chooses to fight Rock above his base, he may have a chance. The little one also working on ASF. One thing to note: T1 power generators probably shouldn't have those this late in the game. And finally, well, no, these are still T1. These have been T1 all game. The little one not too much into eco. He's just into action. Nukes over T2 mass extractors. That's definitely the right style. Maybe not the right, but a good style. See 2 anti-nukes for Rock. He's getting a lot of build capacity, so it looks like Rock here is in for the long game. The longer the game goes, the stronger Pick becomes, so no reason to attack for the right side. You can see a big plan here, a whole bunch of shields and T3 power from Rock. And Pick now recovering some of his mask structures back to T2. And here's the megalith. It's completed by the Big One. You see this monkey is in a little bit of trouble. Actually in quite a bit of trouble with a few of those broadswords, but now those broadswords are in trouble with both air forces. Actually the little one's air force is in trouble. It's flew into a cloud of Rock's air force. Rock definitely wants to fight above his flak here. That was pretty bad for those transports. And you can see this flak has forced the Big One and the little one back, but one thing to note, it appears that the little one and the Big One do have more air. And here's a transport from the Big One here at minute 40. This nuke is nearly loaded up with 145 kills. Nearly the second missile. Nearly the second missile for little ones as well. He's got 37 kills. And this anti-nuke is nearly finished. So if they wanted to hit that anti-nuke, they probably could. It'll be very close, but well, it'll be very close. Now we're going to see a spider and a megalith moving out for the Big One to the bottom choke point. The game is beginning to slow down. Speed it up a little bit. Looks like the little one moving his air force out. Don't want to fly here. Actually, a spider here from Rock as well, but this megalith definitely better. And now a nuke from the Big One. This anti-nuke is not completed. And where is it going? The question is, did he fire it close enough to... That was amazing. That killed a couple Angies. So it looks like he was aiming for the spiders, trying to guess where the spider would go, but he missed. So that was a bit of a wasted nuke, but a good try. If he would have killed that spider, it would have been 2 experimentals marching into Pick's base. Pick's and Rock's base. Killed that mass extractor. See a couple of these dead Angies, didn't even leave Rex. And here come the 2 experimentals. See the flak retreating for Rock. More shields for Pick. One cool thing about this megalith, they can just stand outside the firing range, and yet another nuke now launched. But now this anti-nuke is loaded, so missed opportunity here. This anti-nuke is going to kill. There it is, 2 wasted nukes for the Big One and the little one. They really had the game in their game 1. If that first nuke hit right here, these 2 experimentals could have just marched in. But still, this megalith can do a lot of damage. It can stop and use its range. It has a higher range than anything that Rock or Pick have. It'll be a very even game at this point. Yet another spider constructed by the Big One, and a GC nearly finished by the little one. So they're going to have 4 experimentals soon, plus more restores coming up. For a look at Rock's base. He's got multiple anti-nukes. So I get the Zeus there. The Spider. And this is great micro from this Megalith, not rushing in, using its range, but now it's just got to stand there and fire from far away. Plenty of damage per second. Looks like it's targeting the ACU, but Pick is making shields very quickly, and this Spider perhaps could move out. It's getting very dangerous for Rock. Spider is halfway on its health. Looks like it's going to die. Some loyalists in the air too, and why this Megalith, why did it turn around? He can just stand and fire as long as there is enough anti-air. It appears that air has been won by Rock. And that is very bad news for this Megalith. See these whalers, these loyalists. This Mega's got to run, but it can't shoot backwards. The Spider's just going to ride its back, and great chunks of mass now for Rock. A few mistakes here from the left side team. They really had this game after the successful nukes against Pick, and then 2 wasted nukes. And now a big gift. This GC and the Spider now for little one and the big one. Instead of marching in and finishing Rock off, they're going to be used defensively against the Spider. Great Spider from Rock. Little one once again teasing and throwing away a whole bunch of ASF. And T3 already now from the big one. That's very expensive. But that's what he's going to do. And an air spam, ASF spam from the little one. More power. This nuke is nearly loaded. The third nuke from that launcher. This nuke is also nearly loaded. These nukes can be used defensively at this point in the game. Great gift here, and you can see Pick just sucked off a lot of the mass from this Mega. And the other wreck has also been used up. Rock's base so far looks the most advanced. He's getting a Mega in his base. Stealth fields, advanced hives, some ardage here too. A lot of T2 power. Some mass makers here. He's got way too much power. Here's yet another nuke now from the little one. And where is that going? Actually 2 nukes. So it looks like they're going to try to hit the same spot. And there is no anti-nuke. And that was another mistake. If you would have just put the nuke a little further away, that anti-nuke came from Rock. You would have just put it a little further away. But this base was at the mercy of the big one. He just fired the nuke a little too close to Rock's anti-nuke. It's a bit tragic, but they're still working on this T3RD, which is a third of the way done. Looks like they're going to keep on focusing on this nuke. They're building it very quickly with all these NGs. And now Rock moving out with his loyalists. The Cybern army moving in. There is a T2PD here from a little one standing in the way, but it's not going to be enough. These T1 PD though, this could be very bad news, but of course with T3 here, at least one loyalist dies. So minimal losses for the Rock. Looks like the little one also is going to go for a nuke spam, and also thinking about T3RD. So both players here go with T3RD. That's probably a good strategy against Cyber, and these shields are the weakest of all the different factions. And if they could break Rock's turtle, the right side team would be in a lot of trouble. Still a lot of upgrading to do for Pick. Put a lot of his resources in this defensive base here up on top. The anti-nuke, which is no longer loaded. Which could be another situation where a nuke can hit this base. Just put the nuke right here. Pick is going to have to start right over. And here comes the assault from Rock. He's got some UEF shields, a Megalith, a Spider, a whole bunch of loyalists. And we can see the defense here from the big one, a GC and a Spider. This should be plenty, plus some walls. Walls will be great to prevent loyalists from moving in. Of course, they won't do nothing about experimentals. And yet another nuke is about to be launched by the big one. Let's see where this one goes. And oh wow, we just saw the little one teleport in to Rock's base. And what has just saved Rock's life is the second anti-nuke. We just saw a teleport plus a nuke from the little one. Actually, the nuke was from the big one. The teleport was from the little one. They took out one of the anti-nukes with the ACU, sacrificed an ACU. And now it looks like the big one has decided that this game is over. So we saw a great end here in minute 52. The left side team has gone all in with a teleport, sacrificed an ACU, but were not able to get their nuke to hit Rock's base. And Rock and Pick win this pretty exciting battle. Hopefully people enjoyed it.